Today, I want to talk about my initial thoughts on Thailand. Don't mind that, just a little construction, no biggie. Okay, so my initial thoughts. Now, this is my first time to the country. I've been here for about 2.5 weeks. And I know there's like a million videos on YouTube about Thailand in general. It's a very saturated YouTube niche, but I think for good reason, and deservedly so. So, to put it simply and shortly, I think it's great. I think it's fantastic out here. I'm really enjoying my stay. Now, initially, there was definitely a bit of a adjustment period, um, bit of a culture shock, I guess you could say. Not really culture shock, but just an adjustment period. Um, I'm from a very high and dry climate. Uh, Here this is sea level and very humid. Uh, Aside from that, just it's just a very different pacing of life, and I thoroughly enjoy it. Now, the main reason I came here was to train Muay Thai. That's number one reason. Um, this is the homeland of that. This is the national sport. Um, I was training in back in the States, which is good. Uh, that you can find good gyms and good coaches there, but it's just not the same. It's If you really want to get into it, you got to come out here, and that's what I did. I quit my job. I left my rented room and bought a one-way ticket, and here I am. Um, yeah, I'm just on a tourist visa, which I intend on extending, and who knows, I might get the 12-month Muay Thai visa that you can get. Um, I'm just playing it by ear because YOLO, because I know that's oh, what's up, doggy? That's like a early 2000s term that we used all the time, but screw it, YOLO, and you hear a lot of people talk about, I was working a job I hated, and or things are mundane and expensive. Got the dogs coming up here. Um, and a lot of that's true, but for me, I actually really enjoyed my job. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. Look at this. Look at what I got here. Yeah, all the dogs and cats in Thailand are chill AF. Like, look at these dogs. They're so chill. Anyway, enough distraction from the canines. Yeah, no. So I was working as an arborist, and for those of you who aren't familiar with that word, it's basically I was like a lumberjack. I'd climb trees, rip chainsaws, that whole thing, and I loved it, and I still do. Um, but so what had happened is I was working at a company for a while, and I had great coworkers, and it's a pretty good environment overall. But I was just feeling a need for a change. I wanted to get more of a. I just wanted to work in the mountains essentially, which I ended up doing. I started at this other company, and they had really great equipment, and but man, just the vibe and the coworkers and the environment was just ugh, it just this company had a high turnover rate, and I think for good reason. Anyway, I'll probably make another video just on that alone, so stay tuned for that. But essentially, I just one too many negative experiences with boss man, and I was like, screw it. I'm dipping out of here and I'm making my dreams come true. And that's what happened. You know, screw security and like predictable 9 to 5 mundane nonsense. Another thing I'm gonna make more videos on, I think, and I think a lot of people are picking up on just how the whole 9 to 5 thing is dying out, and good, because it's in the year 2025, it's just not sustainable for most people, including myself, even someone who even enjoys their job. I enjoyed what I did, but it just, man, the between cucked cho cucked coworkers and chode bosses, that'll be the name of the video. It's yeah, anyway, I bought my ticket. I was like, I'm gonna make my dreams come true, and here we are. And to be honest, the thing that has been maybe not scary, but the most challenging thing to overcome is not not even flying halfway across the world and getting punched in the face. Although that's a little, you know, it's a little daunting, but I've handled it quite fine. The main thing for me is like just starting this, like finally starting my YouTube channel. You know, I've been I've been here since the beginning, since what was it, 2006, when YouTube first took off, and so next year will be the 20th anniversary. Crazy to think about, and I think we can all agree how much value, later, Doug, how much value YouTube actually holds. It's not just brain rot, as we like to say these days. It's you can learn a lot. You can see a lot of different perspectives, and I want to give back now, and I want to share my perspective and my journey. So that's what I'm doing here. Thailand, it's amazing. Um, the food's great. One of the unexpected things I didn't realize how much I would enjoy is riding the scooters everywhere. I mean, I love it. Just hopping on these scooters and riding around town. It's so convenient. It's so chill. I love the vibe. Every country has its pros and cons. This isn't some magical fairyland. There's definitely cons, and the Thailand YouTube market is very saturated, and it's good to talk about it all, which I intend to do. But 2.5 weeks into this, I'm vibing. I'm loving it. I'm loving training Muay Thai every single day. It's I recommend it. I think you should quit your job, and if you can, if you don't have obligations, if you don't have pets, if you don't have a family you have to take care of, and you don't have anything else holding you back, I mean, why not? Um, and even if Muay Thai isn't your thing, just uh, getting out of your comfort zone. I mean, on the flip side, you should stay in your comfort zone. That's another conversation for another day. Um, but also getting out of your comfort zone's good, especially for me. You get in your routines, and I don't know. It can be a drag. Like, even if you're doing something that you love. So so I recommend it. I recommend taking a chance, and I think the YouTube Thailand market is saturated for good reasons. Um, you know, the food's fantastic. Language learning has never been a strong point for me, even with like Spanish, which is easy for English speakers. But so if you live here for long term, you should definitely learn the language. Um, yeah, and fortunately, even amongst all the different tourists and foreigners here, the main language, like the main mode of communication, is English, which is a huge, a huge, uh, a huge blessing for a native English speaker like myself, because it's funny. Like I was at this hostel and there's like a couple German speakers and then this Spanish dude, and the Spanish guy was getting pissed off at the German speakers for speaking German. He's like, "No, no, English only, English only." It's hilarious because like I don't know, everyone's speaking like very not broken English, but just like um, English as a second language, and I'm just here like soaking it in and loving it because it's my native language, so that's a nice thing. Um, and you can get away with it at restaurants um, to a certain extent. It's definitely better if you know Thai. Um, but a decent amount of people here speak basically English, so that's nice. If you're looking on Google Maps and the restaurant's name is in English, that's a good tell that you should be able to communicate on a very basic level. And I'm trying to learn more Thai. It's very difficult for me, but so a little broken Thai, a little broken English, we can get by. I can get my pad Thai and whatnot. So yeah, just yapping away. I intend to do more of this, so even though this will probably get like 0 views, like maybe a view or two, go ahead, like and subscribe, leave a comment. Um, got a long ways to go for this yap journey I'm about to embark on. So I appreciate you listening if you've gotten this far in the video. So all right, see you in the next.